All right, testing. So, I'm never sure how to start these things. Am I recording? Cool. Okay. Lots to talk about. But firstly, hello. Thank you for a great 2024. The channel grew over 1,000%, but I want to go over that in just a bit. So the topic of this video is it's going to be a channel update for last year and what to expect for 2025. Think of it as a GWiz report or something. It'll mostly be me talking about the channel and stuff, but I'll try and keep it interesting. We'll be covering growth from 2024 to 2025, the best video by views and likes, and the worst performed video. Videos I expected to do better, but they kind of flopped. Most of it with MTG content. I already know about the variety. And then 2025 in the channel. Now, I'm definitely be going off topic, but I'll try and keep it to these points each year as a sort of summary for the channel. So there'll be another one, next year, 2026, that happened for 2025, and we'll discuss, stuff about that. It's like a fun little log, I guess, when I start. So, 2024. I started 2024 with, I think, 7 subscribers. My goal for the end of 2024 was originally to have more videos than I did subscribers. That's how low the count was. I was uploading some variety content, and then I wasn't sure what to do with Umbris. So at one point, I think I had I think it was 5, 6 videos, and I had 3 or 4 subscribers, and I was like, man, as long as I have more subscribers than I do videos, I think that's my only goal for now. But here I am a year later. I'd never expected to hit 100 in a year right now. That's still crazy, but back on it. But the variety content didn't too well, and then the Umbris video was one of the kind of kicking off the MTG content, right? That was one of my greatest problems starting, is I knew I wanted to do this ETB Umbris deck tech video, which ended up being, the first MTG video on the channel. I just didn't really know how to go about it, write it, or anything. I tried going off the top of my head, and then I found my thoughts were way too jumbled for that to be a video. It just didn't make sense. I didn't structure it enough, so eventually I made a script, and that script became the intro, who is the commander, what do they do, the similar decks, etc., for the 1-3 lesson series. Anyways, back on topic. We started 2024 with 7 subscribers. Most of them were my close friends, and ended 2025 with just over 100. Yeah, that's an amazing surprise. I'm not gonna lie. If I broke 50, I thought I'd be lucky. But yeah, one video in particular really carried the view count and subs for the channel this year. So the best video of the year goes to Budget Grist. I was really, really happy she did so well. The build itself was really fun to play, not overly complicated, and not only that, it was the first type of video of the series, so hopefully the budget series continues doing well. At the time, I thought it'd be a banger, because I put some effort into it, made some jokes here and there. The editing was a bit different than the 1-3 lessons, and I was hoping that would do really good, but yeah, glad to see y'all liked it. Amazing. I just don't really play Golgari too often, but yikes, it's awesome. Thank you. Speaking of, the next Sunken Savings video should be out later this month. The script is almost done. I just need to record and start the process going. That one's going to be the 100 subscriber special. It's a bit of a meme, but I found it surprisingly solid for a mono blue budget deck. Worst video. Worst video. Worst had to be one of the variety ones. I'd say it was the finale to the Gloomwood series or the Phasmophobia video that was released just before 2024 ended. Now, despite these videos not doing well for the channel, I'd like to address why I'm even making variety content when obviously I'm MTG focused, that's my name, that's the theme, and those perform just leagues above variety. So that also does tie us somewhat into 2025 in the channel as well. So, variety content. Going forward, it's obvious I probably shouldn't be cluttering the channel with videos less than 20 or so views, but I do have my reasons. The most obvious one is I enjoy making them. Plain and simple, I just enjoy making them. I'm not looking to make YouTube a career or anything. Hell, 100 subs is more than enough for me. So if I can make content that I enjoy, and you all do too, that's fine. But the biggest reason is I don't want to become locked into one type of video or videos or a single subject. I've seen enough YouTubers just make themselves miserable doing this, and for everyone that hates it, another one enjoys it. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just not for me. I just want to establish early on that I enjoy making variety content. I'm streaming variety content, but my main focus is MTG. And about that, while the channel grows, especially with how WotC is proceeding with MTG, I didn't want to lock myself into it. More on that in a bit. So overall for 2025, I learned a lot this year. Timing, audio balancing not included, and just editing in general. I think I didn't know how to edit anything around 2024 and the end of 2023. I also upgraded my PC, so I won't have potato graphics anymore, and I'm looking to kick out my Twitch live stream. I actually did stream the other day. The first stream of the year was Dredge. It's this really awesome. I'm not sure if it's an indie game or not. I don't know what to call it, but you play as this fishing vessel and you go around. You either fish and obviously you dredge things and you upgrade your ship. And then there's a whole overarching plot of like some spooky stuff happening and some Cthulhu nonsense. But really cool, really cool. If you're interested in any variety content stuff, go ahead and give me a follow on my Twitch. I'll try and stream there every week. I'll definitely be streaming. I don't know when this video is going live, so hopefully I've already streamed twice. I think that's my goal. But what games am I going to play exactly? Again, it's variety. But multiplayer games, expect things like Guilty Gear Strive, maybe TF2. Marvel Rivals is something I've been playing recently. Surprisingly, I like that game, really fun. And then more MTG related, deck building. But I'm not sure how to go about deck building yet. Maybe I'll like ask like in a video, like, hey, what do you guys want to do during this live stream, or ask during a live stream. We'll figure that out. So, for MTG this year, going on to kind of the main topic, right? That was the channel update, and going in, this is about MTG. I will be making more 1-3 lessons, sunken savings, dive downs, but since my main content is MTG, I wanted to make I was going to make this its own video, but I'm just going to throw it in this one. I wanted to make a video dedicated to my opinion on how MTG, or rather Wizards of the Coast, is treating the game. So this is an MTG rant, not so old man. It's going to shout at the clouds. You can skip to the timestamp that's going to flash on the screen, description below maybe. This is just going to be my thoughts personally on how WotC's been doing things. So I'll make it super clear right off the gate. I really despise how the company is progressing forward. I wasn't the biggest fan of Universes Beyond, which is their main crossover sets that originally was Commander only. Then it got into Modern with Lord of the Rings, I believe, and will now be soon standard legal with Marvel's Spider-Man and Final Fantasy. My issue is it being a main set. They went as far to push our return to an older set, Lorwyn, into 2026 to make more room for these Fortnite crossovers. I wasn't playing the game during the OG Lorwyn block, so I was really excited about going there, and seeing it pushed out this for making room for more crossovers just feels gross. Now, if it was Commander only, I'd be having less of an issue with it, since it's just more of their card bloat that Wizards has been doing. But like, think about it. They call it the never-ending spoiler season for a reason. It feels like there's always a spoiler season. Used to, there's like some breaks and time, and like, oh, the new spoiler season's coming up. No, it feels like you go to mtgspoilers.com or something. It's like always something new going on. So much card bloat. And speaking of, it feels like every new set, there's a must-have commander card that just power creeps another, so people are always incentivized to keep buying these products. My advice for that, buy singles if you are going to buy, or pirate. And by pirate, I don't mean like, straight, like, you know what I mean, proxy. Proxy is what I mean. What I've been doing recently, I'm going to kind of go into a bit more of the proxying theme here real quick, on how I do it. Tabletop Simulator is a game on Steam. It's usually on sale, most of their sale times, so like the Christmas just happened, their winter sale rather. The next big one I think is going to be the Steam Summer Sale. That's not for a while yet, but Tabletop Simulator is something you can do to play MTG on. You can import decks there, really nice. I highly recommend that. Webcam MTG works too. Alright, back on topic. For me, my last set that I see myself buying was Foundations. While being mainly a Commander player, I really enjoyed Draft 2, and had a blast in my LGS playing during the pre-release. I went 4-1 with a Jund aggro deck. Why is Foundations the last one? Why is Foundations going to be my last set for now? Why am I so doom about this? Well, it's just, I despise not only Standard being longer rotating, quoting their efforts to revitalize it, but now with these crossovers, it means we're going to see shit like Spider-Man going against things like blue-white control. Like, what? It's insane. Before this product's not for you comments roll in, I understand that. I get that. And I won't be buying it or any of the sets while they continue to do this. But their initial promise of these crossovers to stay in Commander has more or less been breached and voided at this point, like a long time ago. Hell, they even referred to Magic, as in their own game, as an IP when referencing future main Standard legal sets. That for me, it was during one of their live streams, and then the Magic IP will still receive Standards. I'm paraphrasing. And that for me was like, oh my god, this is just going to be Fortnite the card game, isn't it? That's a sad way to see this kind of go down the rabbit hole. Now, why would this bother me? You may be asking. I watch Standard a lot. Now, do I play a lot of Standard? No, not quite. I play it here and there before I get salty, and then I stop playing it for months on end. But I watch a lot of Standard. Just about daily, I see Covert Go Blues videos and Eldraine. So this would affect me as a viewer, in that these crossover cards will be legal in Standard for longer, despite me not even playing Standard. And that's something I think a lot of people don't consider, is that viewership for the game, even if they don't play it, is still a thing. So why are crossovers potentially a bad thing? Why is this like something that it's just overall, I think, negative? And besides all personal feelings, why do I think it's potentially a bad thing? Well, the goal is to bring more players in MTG. I can see that these Universes Unbound cards, I can see that these Universes Beyond cards do exactly that. They sell extremely well. They sold out Marvel, and I don't even know, it was record times. They had bots on it. It just destroyed the Secret Lair, for example. And then that supposedly that would bring people into the game. Except that little last part. From what I could tell, a lot of people try the game, buy the cards, and then after a while they just don't play again. Now that's fine. Some people are card collectors. They buy it because they're a huge fan of Marvel. But then that's the issue, right? Is they're a big fan of Marvel, and we're sacrificing MTG sets to appease Marvel fans to add to their collection and not bring players into MTG or expand on the world. Yeah, that's just a small example. Now, that isn't to say some of these new players who come in from these Universes Beyond sets don't stay with the game. Some do, and that is a good thing. That is a very good thing. I wouldn't or would ever encourage berating someone that started playing Magic the Gathering through Universes Beyond set. New players to the game is healthy. But the amount of times I've heard people talk to their friends about buying a commander deck like Fallout or Warhammer, for example, playing it for a while, and then now just have no motivation to play it. It just sits there, and they just don't want to play anymore. Magic probably wasn't their thing. They play it just for the crossover, and that's not uncommon. Some of my personal friends have done that, and as I've spoken around to different LGSs, play groups and stuff, that's just something that I keep hearing. Now, there are some people that I have heard that have come in from these sets, and they've stayed with the game. Like, oh, I started with the Fallout one. It's like, well, great, but more often than not, I do hear that they people bought it and then stopped playing. Now, in Commander, the most popular MTG format, this doesn't really matter since it's not really the heart of the game like Standard. The 60-card format, it's been around the kind of the longest, but unfortunately it now is, since Universe Beyond is now going to be in Standard. So why is Standard that line? And more importantly, would these crossovers bring players into Standard? Because that's what they're trying to do. They're not just trying to bring more players into Magic, like with the Fallout crossovers and Commander. They want to revitalize Standard. Now, would this bring players into Standard? Potentially, yes. Ignoring how downright awful Standard can feel at times, and Wizards' just recently terrible card designs that plague the game. This means that Marvel fans who join Magic can enjoy their Spider-Man deck for longer in a 60-card revitalized format. Except not really. Their new cards might not be as good for as long as advertised. As other cards and sets are printed, there are one of two inevitabilities, or maybe even both inevitabilities. 1. Marvel, or Final Fantasy, or any Universes Beyond cards are incredibly busted or used in too many decks to be healthy for the game. Probably leads to eventual bans, but seeing as how long it took for them to ban the One Ring, I doubt Wizards cares for the health of the game and more care to line their own pockets. 2. They're just fine. The cards in these sets are just fine. But they're eventually power crept by other cards, or some cards are introduced in future sets that come out and make your current deck just a bit worse in some matchups, and it just keeps snowballing from there. Then the perfect Spider-Man or Final Fantasy deck these fans are being advertised to make becomes a little more than a meme deck and has little to no chance of competing on ladder, meaning they're going to get stomped by Mono Red. Likely, they'll just print a few cards per Universes Beyond that are insanely good and are going to be seen a lot in Standard. Again, okay, highlighting this real quick, I am no seer. I have not seen the card list, so I don't know for certain, but my concerns remain. Now, keep in mind, all of that is before my real personal reasons on why I really don't like Universes Beyond coming to Standard. Magic is a beautiful card game. The planes, the multiverse, is something I've always loved. I started playing Magic as a kid around M13 in 2012 at a summer camp. My first set that I played, and that played is in heavy quotes, let me tell you, was Innistrad. The world was dark, dreary, and the art for the cards drew me in as a kid. I never saw anything like it. The art is one of the main reasons I stuck with the game. It's at times beautiful and hopeful, and others haunting or foreboding. There's an air of mystery to it, like, who is this legendary creature? I wonder if there'll be expanded the lore on them. How would this impact the plane? So many things to world build around, and done so well, at times, not all the time. But I think the way the cards build up the world are done extremely well. Always love that. Not to mention, the very theme of the game was fun as a kid. Being a planeswalker that would thematically use mana from the environment to summon creatures and cast spells to aid you in a 1v1 battle against another planeswalker. This is why, at the beginning of my 1-3 lessons, The intro is a blur. A summoning Skyrim noise plays. It has a little bit of LARP. I'm not doing it randomly. This is because I'm going to pay homage to that, to what magic is, or was. You, the player, are a planeswalker. Now, I could LARP for a little bit, do some high fantasy shenanigans for a fun intro or outro, but the way magic is going nowadays isn't this anymore, and it hasn't been for a while. Is it Innistrad, Chandelure, or I don't know, Dominaria? It's now Yeehaw Cowboys, He Who reference horror, racing, and crossovers. Crossovers, now going to take sets away from the quote-unquote magic IP, is disgusting. As someone who loves the world's magic explorers, and instead of getting Spider-Man or Cloud Strife, I like to highlight something about Universes Beyond. We already know these characters! These worlds, they have their own comics and our video games, and they have those characters in it. They're fleshed out. We know them. They aren't characters in Magic the Gathering that, at least I personally, would give a about their lore expanding, since frankly, them being a crossover, their lore expanding is just going to be flavor text and cool new art. I do like the art. Probably looking forward to that. And the thing is, I like Final Fantasy. I would love to use Kefka as a commander. He is one of the most insane villains that gets the spotlight stolen from him in the Final Fantasy series. If you don't know who he is, I highly recommend just doing a quick Google search if you're up for it. Maybe playing in the game. It is dated, kind of clunky, but he is awesome. But these crossovers taking up an entire set is unjustified when we could be getting, I don't know, Ikoria. Remember we went there once? Because I do. The only reason anyone actually remembers is because Wizard made one of the most broken mechanics in the game. But I'm getting off topic. Besides not revisiting and building up the lore or world of what is Magic the Gathering, not Magic the IP, the art direction I feel has taken a hit as well from these recent planes we have been going to. The planes in general feel lackluster and uninspired. The worlds are being less fleshed out as they used to be, being only covered for one set before we move on to the next cash grab. There feels like just no time at all to let us, the players, explore the plane through multiple sets and develop a story. And I have a lot to say about the newer planes. To me, Thunder Junction was a disappointment, but an expected one. Duskmourn hurt, since I wanted another plane like Innistrad, a haunting plane that showed just both the horrific and the hopeful, but Duskmourn made it feel so cartoony and fake. Seeing the survivors die on cards made me feel nothing for them. Ghostbuster wannabes, saying quirky one-liners with clothing and hair too stylistic to make me believe they were trapped in this plane of horror. And trust me, Wizards really tried selling the horror angle on this set. Now, some of the horrors do look good, I won't lie. But holy shit! Some of the other design choices just rips it apart. It really opened my eyes to how WotC is proceeding with Magic. Now, I can keep going on about complaints, but that isn't too fun. And it makes it sound like I'm about to take all my cards out back and burn them, but I won't abandon a game that's been with me for most of my life at this point. Not yet. I'll be here, giving out 1-3 lessons if you'd like to stop by. Let's end this on a more positive note. I'll have a timestamp for a right now that'll skip my personal feelings about how WotC is handling MTG, but TLDR, more Commander MTG content to come. All that, and just to kind of summarize and say, I don't really quite like what they're doing, but you know what? I'm going to keep making some content. I'm not paying them a dime anymore, but I'll keep making it because I enjoy doing that. Now, more variety to come as well, and live streams. I already previously mentioned, I already did a live stream, hopefully now 2, playing Dredge right now. I'll try and be live streaming more often, so please feel free to come by and say hi. Overall, 2024 was an amazing period of growth for the channel. Thank you for supporting the channel and me. Again, it's absolutely crazy to me going from 7 to over 100 subs in just 1 year. Now, if you have any questions or maybe more content you'd like to see more of in the coming year, drop a comment below and I'll get back to you. I'm still not good at doing outros yet, but yeah, with that, I'll see you next time.